Got some crazy XRP news. They're trying to say that Ripple was hacked. Or excuse me, not Ripple. Just the chief technical officer, Chris Larson, the chief technical guy at Ripple was hacked. Not Ripple, the chief guy, technical guy, the security guy was hacked. Kind of like, you know, like the SEC got hacked. Same kind of thing. For 213 million XRP, allegedly, the person moved funds throughout several exchanges. Binance said they were able to stop 4-point-something million worth, but it got through other exchanges and all of that. And so, like, this is causing obviously a lot of issues. Here's good old Chris Larson right here saying yesterday there was unauthorized access to a few of my personal XRP accounts. Not Ripple, just me personally. We were quickly able to catch the problem and notify exchanges to freeze the affected addresses. Law enforcement is already involved. When people talk, you got to pay attention to the words that they use. Yesterday, there was unauthorized access. Notice he didn't say hack. He said unauthorized access to a few of my personal XRP accounts. Here's the thing. Initially, the accounts listed, I'm going to show you, were listed as Ripple. They weren't listed as if they were listed as the Ripple accounts themselves. And then they went into the Block Explorer and changed it to Chris Larson. This is the fabled XRP that y'all love so much. This is an isolated incident, and Ripple wallets are secure, were never compromised. Please explain this to me. How is it a hack or unauthorized access, but the wallets are secure and were never compromised? How somebody take something if it was never compromised? How? Huh? That don't make no sense, bro. So of course I see this, and after laughing, because again, Ripple likes to build itself up as like, oh, you know, we're the bastion of the new economy and all the XRP army people. Oh, we're gonna be used by banks and everybody's gonna be using XRP. And it's so great, right? And here you have the chief technical officer being hacked. That's like, you know, the owner of the bank being hacked, right? So I dug a little deeper, and here's what I found. So I did some digging. This was the beginning of my digging to find out, you know, what's really going on, find out the truth. And so I came across this Cointelegraph article. Cryptocurrency, because the first thing when they said Ripple was hacked, and that some funds were frozen, the first thing that I said was, that's impossible, right? Because I'm like, Ripple can't freeze anything because they're not a blockchain. That's the first thing I said. I said the only people who would be able to freeze the Ripple is Binance. I said there's a centralized exchange. I said specifically Binance, but a centralized exchange. They would be the only ones because they're not a blockchain. That was my first reaction. Okay, so then I looked this up. Cryptocurrency exchange Binance froze 4.2 million worth of XRP from the $112 million hack on Ripple co-founder Chris Larson. Okay, so here's Richard Tang. After finding out early on about the exploit that occurred, we're happy to say that the Binance team has managed to freeze 4.2 million worth of XRP stolen by the exploiter. You should put that exploiter in quotation, right? And then he cites some people that helped them. Okay, so let me put that in perspective. When you're on chain, right? When you have an actual blockchain, these exchanges have things in place that monitor activity before it hits the exchange. And so when you do something illegitimate, illicit, on chain, you know, where the real cryptos play, they will actually mark you and they will stop you either before you get to the exchange or as soon as you get there, you will not be able to move those funds. Notice what he said. After finding out, we're happy to say that the Binance team managed to freeze 4.2 million worth. He didn't say how much they managed to not freeze. He said they managed to freeze 4.2 million worth. Right? They had to find out. All right, keep reading. Thomas, I don't want to jack your name up, the head of analytics and compliance at the XRP Ledger Foundation, responded to Tang's post, claiming that it was the foundation that first investigated the issue. All right, so you've been hacked. Here's somebody saying, hey, we did our part. And here's Ripple saying, it was us. It wasn't y'all, it was us. Okay, all right. Again, they didn't say how much they lost. Obviously, there's another at least 108 million out there, right? And how much of it, like, you know, through the exchanges that they use, it was like, 5 or 6 of them or something. So that's like, 20 million. So that nobody's talking about how much was lost, right? Again, there was early speculation that Ripple was hacked, with some news claiming that the token itself was hacked. Why? Because the blockchain explorer that's not publicly available has the accounts listed as Ripple account, Ripple themselves. As you can see here, the affected account tagged as Ripple itself. They then went in and changed it. Okay, all right. It doesn't get better from here, guys. It only gets worse. If you're a holder of this, I don't know why you're still holding this, especially watching my channel, right? But of course, I'll get hate and then because I don't know what I'm talking about. Okay. Now, so here are the wallets. The core of the incident revolves around this source address, okay, initially linked to Ripple. From this wallet, substantial amounts of XRP were diverted to multiple addresses, included but not limited to these addresses right here. Okay. Now, the interesting thing to me is that they have addresses at all because, again, the XRP Block Explorer, whatever, is not available to the public. It's not available. I don't know where it is. I've looked. If you know where it is, comment below. Subsequently, the attacker embarked on a complex laundering scheme, moving the stolen funds through various centralized exchanges. Here's the thing that you guys got to understand. And in fact, that's a part that I missed. I need to go back to here. When people hack things, generally speaking, they use other services to hide. The hacker behind the exploit didn't use any mixer services or decentralized exchanges. I literally LOL when I read that. Literally. Number one, you can't use any decentralized exchanges because, again, XRP is not a real token. It's not a chain. You can't trade something that doesn't have like on-chain liquidity. So it wasn't going to be used on something like, a decentralized exchange or something like that. But the fact that they didn't use any type of mixer service, like this is the equivalent of somebody live streaming, robbing you while you in the house. You in the house being robbed by them and they're live streaming it to you. Hey, bro, I'm just letting you know. Hey, check, I know you here with me, but I'm live streaming this too. I'm robbing you. Didn't try to hide, didn't try anything. Right? And so again, if you go back to the words, he didn't say hack. He said unauthorized access. Okay? And this proves it. Here's the source address, but they knew to send it to these other addresses without trying to hide it. Okay? This is crazy. All right? So now, again, I got to go further. This blew my mind. I don't know if it's going to blow yours. Blew my mind. Understanding passphrase, secret key, and address. Because see, here's the thing I want. How did they get access? Right? Dude said his private keys were affected. His private keys. My first response again is what private keys? What Ripple private keys? Okay? All right. So that led me here to Steam it. This is another token. I used to be super bullish on Steam. I think this is connected to Steam. I think. But basically, like, you do articles and then people pay you like in crypto pennies and stuff, and so you can get paid for your work. So this person got $22 for this wonderful work that they did. That's why it don't work. Anyway, check this out. All right. And this was done 7 years ago by somebody called Ripple RM. So 7 years ago, you writing blogs like this is early. Obviously, this is somebody that really understands Ripple. It might be Chris Larson himself. It's definitely somebody, or Jed McCaleb or somebody, right? All right. The relationship between the secret key and address of a Ripple account is quite different from other cryptos. This is 7 years ago. Okay, just that statement alone is quite different from other cryptos. In Ripple, when we say secret key, notice that they put secret. They put secret key like doing the fingers. Secret key. That's the last thing that you want to see when somebody uses a very simple term and puts it in quotes, right? When we say secret key, it's not referring to the private key used for signing accounts transactions as in most other cryptos, but the seed from which, pay attention, the signing key pair was derived. What do you know? What are you talking about? What? It's not referring to the private key used. Not like as in most other cryptos, but the seed from which the signing key pair was derived. Taking the root account, again, not a italicizing, taking the root account as an example, the following explain how the address and the signing key pair of a Ripple account is generated from its secret seed. And now they put seed in paragraphs. So now we got secret key in quotations. We got root account italicized. And then we got seed in paragraphs because it's not really a seed. You're about to see how. So they start off explaining, right, how this is done. But this is all you need to know. The root account is generated from passphrase master passphrase. From this, a seed is generated. Boom. Or boom. This is the most important, one of the most important sentences right here. In most conditions, should have put an S right there. In most conditions, a wallet client would generate a, here we go again, in paragraphs, random seed directly rather than deriving from a passphrase. They are very, very specific with what they put. Notice that they put random in paragraphs. What it really says is, in most conditions, a wallet client would generate a seed directly rather than deriving from a passphrase. In most conditions, not in all conditions, and not really randomly. And they give you examples here. Look at the words that they're using. Family generator's private key. If I'm building a decentralized so-called something, why would I call something family generator? Family generator seed. And then call all the seeds generated from it child. Now, I know that in tech and in code, even though I'm not an expert, I'm not a coder at all, but I know from being in Bitcoin and, other computer things. And so you call things child a lot of times. I realize that. But if there's a child, there's an adult. Do you understand what I'm saying? And so what am I saying? What I am saying is every seed, I'm just going to get to the point. I'm not going to beat around the bush. Every seed generated on Ripple is generated from a master passphrase and therefore can be reverse engineered to find out what that passphrase is. Excuse me, what that key is. Somebody has the master key to seed generation to Ripple, and it can be reverse engineered to basically find out what everybody's seed is. The wow goes right there. Okay, so now let's go back to one of the things that my man said: unauthorized access. He didn't say hack. He said unauthorized access. What are you saying, BSG? I am saying whoever did this, if it wasn't Chris Larson himself, had access to these private keys, which are not public, which only a few people would even know how to access, and possibly even had the master passphrase to get the so-called, in quotations, private key in the first place to be able to do what they did. Well, I'm going to take a step further. Now, this is totally out of my neck and other parts, but I just feel the vibe that this is an interpersonal thing. I believe literally that this is a child, like a family member, a son, a daughter, perhaps an in-law or something. Obviously, somebody has to have knowledge of the Ripple blockchain in order to do this, right? And know how to maneuver around, right? But there's still enough silliness where they didn't use, a service to try to hide and things like that. probably because they had relationships. Only Binance and Justin Sun has come out and say, hey, we froze some. OKX and others have not came out and said anything. But whoever did this either had, how does the CTO of Ripple, how do your keys, secret key in quotation, how does that get compromised? How, bro? How? And just to further illustrate this point even more, again, 6 years ago, I found this on Reddit. This is a random. Hello, I tried searching this sub but couldn't find an answer to my question. Sorry if it's been asked and answered before. Essentially, I'm trying to find out how to gain access to my XRP if my Nano S stops working or the company goes out of business and no longer connects to the Ripple ledger. I believe all I need is a private or master key to the wallet. This joker has XRP, doesn't even know his key or where to find it. I visited the company support page below, but the instructions are specific to Bitcoin. What? Huh? Since I'm really new to all this, I don't understand what needs to be done for XRP. I was hoping that since they support more than Bitcoin, that they would have documentation about other currencies they support. Okay? This was 6 years ago. And here is the response. First of all, there was a deleted response. Okay. Last I heard, mid-2017, Ledger was going to release some sort of standalone tool to let you transfer your XRP via your C in case Ledger went out of business or failed in some other way. I'm not sure what the status of that is now. 6 years ago. I have not heard any update to this. This is long after Ripple was created now. 2017, Ripple is in full swing. They might have been near their all-time highs, and somebody is literally asking, how do I get access to my private keys? Because it's that hard to get access to your private key. And even that person said, I know there's a master key or something. I'm telling you guys, more is going to come out about this. There's more to this than meets the eye. This is an inside job. This is either Chris Larson hacking himself or definitely somebody that knows how the Ripple system works intimately, which is why the wallets themselves were marked as Ripple itself. You don't mark something as Ripple itself unless it's Ripple itself. You wouldn't do that and then only change the name when people say something about it. Why are you in this? Like, seriously, why are you in what? Like, how is this going to be the future of finance when the CTO is getting hacked and you're relying on third parties, aka exchanges? Like, real talk, if Binance took the approach, yo, we can't validate this, right? This person would be able to go through and sell whatever. Right? It also says that, again, for people screaming decentralization, that Ripple can turn your stuff off, or we know the exchanges can. Well, Ripple can't, because like I said, they don't have to take nothing. But the exchanges definitely can. Right? Which in the event of hacks or whatever, that's what should happen. I I believe in that 1,000%. Some of you don't. Some of you believe, oh, you know, everybody should be able to do it. Not when somebody is specifically out to hurt people, but you got to prove that, yo, this was a hack. And for him to say, yo, the accounts, nobody's account was messed with, Ripple is secure, it was just me. And then to find out that you have to go through all of this stuff just to get your passkey. This is an inside job, period. And it's going to come out. Right? So again, I have been critical of Ripple for years. And XRP Army always comes on my channel and talks stuff. And in that time, Ripple has done nothing. And in that time, you guys have missed multiple 100Xs, including coins that I've given you, including stuff that I'm in right now. Because you're holding on to this. And it's not even what they say it is. It's not a blockchain. It's obviously, if the CTO can be hacked, it's not secure. And you had to rely on exchanges to stop some of it. This is a joke. This is your warning, guys. I'm telling you, something is going to come out very heavy from this. Right? I believe that we're looking at the beginning of the end of Ripple. It's your boy BSG. I'm going to holler at y'all in the next video.